by optimizing the process, you can not only improve the product, but also improve variations of the same product which require the same process. That's my answer.
Well, thank you. And so we completed these questions that were addressed to all of you. And now we'll start with the tailored questions, and starting again with Professor Valavanis. And the first question is regarding the role of Greek diaspora in helping, addressing, or collaborating with people in Greece to promote and increase the research in robotics.
Several of the people who are dealing with robotics in Greece were part of the Greek diaspora. The Greeks who are in other countries, they can provide support, they can provide perhaps an orthogonal dimension to what research and development, what happens research and development wise in Greece, and they can actually be promoters and facilitators of the great work that is happening in Greece. Perhaps collaborations with, which are easier now than 10, 20, 30 years ago, with the Greek teams in order to be able to optimize, exchange ideas, visits, and also provide a forum to improve and increase funding. I know that there are restrictions within the European Union, we all know that. However, the Greek diaspora, along with the domestic scientists and engineers, should work in unison. There is no competition here, one should support the other. So the people who live abroad, in my very own personal opinion, provide the backbone, the support backbone into what is happening in Greece, and facilitate, be also promoters of and export and make known to the world at large what is happening in Greece.
Well, that's true, and again, HERON, one of the objectives of HERON is to facilitate this bridge between diaspora and the rest of researchers and engineers in Greece. So we hope that this will go well. Dr. Theodorou, for your question, what is the current state of robotics industry in Greece, and how it has evolved during the past decade? So how do you see things evolving, and where are we now?
10 years we were talking about robots replacing people. Nowadays, we try to convince our customers that it's not just that. We need robots to introduce us to the new era. Now, what is important is that to see what is happening now in many other countries, like Germany, for example. Now there, you have factories that they have been using robots long time, and now the challenge for them is how to use the data coming from the connectivity of robots and other systems to their advantage. And now, the big companies are now involved in this area, big companies, information companies, software companies, and they're now talking about the smart knowledge that we can get, the AI, practically. But they don't talk about AI, they talk it in a different way. So the question is not how to take the data, is how to use data. So they are at that stage. We are not in Greece at that stage. We still have to convince customers to introduce robots in their systems. So that, for me, is the #1 challenge in this area. And we hope that we will. I just wanted to mention that we have developed these smart solutions, for smart robotic solutions, and we had a huge resistance from the Greek market, in adopting this. So we turned to the UK markets. Unlikely, but we did. We had an opportunity. And then we received very good, actually, welcome from the UK companies, and we had a number of very successful applications, systems, that they were requiring connectivity, smart robotics, smart factories, etc. Actually, our company last year received the award of best new technology company in the UK, which we didn't believe. When they told us that we won it, we thought that we were joking, but it was true. So practically, our technology is there. We need, however, to convince the Greek customers to invest in this particular area. We're trying.
Yeah, that's interesting. Dr. Konstantinidis, the question is, do patients welcome robotic surgery? How do they feel about it? Are they scared? Are they, you know?
In the beginning, 20 years ago, they were very, it was very difficult for me to convince people that they will use robotic technology to do surgery because they thought a robot will come in the operating room and humanoid and go and do surgery. And by the time that they were informed better and we spent a lot of time, me personally, with public awareness, telling people, you know, what we do with this technology. And now they are asking for it all the time, especially in the difficult problems. And I can tell you an example of a lady over 85 years old that was suffering from gastroesophageal reflux due to a huge hiatal hernia. This means that the entire stomach was above the diaphragm, behind the heart, and she was suffering. So she was in a hairdresser, you know, doing her hair, and she was coughing and having a hard time breathing. So the lady that was doing her hair asked, you know, why are you so sick? She goes, I have this hiatal hernia for 25 years now, and they tell me I cannot have surgery because I'm too old, 25 years ago. So when she was 60, they were telling her that. So what, I cannot do anything. So the hairdresser says, go to Dr. Konstantinidis, he can fix your problem with a robot. He comes to me, I do the surgery, she stays one night in the hospital. So the next day, her kids come to me, and they are telling me, you know, how come they didn't know about all this to bring the mother before? Because, of course, lack of information. The main thing here is that even for a problem like this, we can make people healthy again. And you can imagine how satisfied this lady was. She has sent me maybe 10 or 20 people after that, you know, to do the same operation. So the public awareness is necessary, and I think that people like the audience here, they can understand that all this is available anymore. There is literature, there is comparative studies, there is everything scientific.
The web.
If you do a search in Google search, for example, robotic colorectal surgery, you see 1 million papers now that we are talking about all this. So don't stay behind because we would just say it's too expensive. See the economic benefits and go from there.
Okay, great.
Next.
Yes, you are next. So the question is, can you comment on Europe's competitiveness vis-à-vis the US and China? And what measures does the EU plan or should plan to address any gaps?
There are many gaps of Europe against the US and China. There was the very famous Draghi report, which illustrated 1 year ago all these challenges faced in terms of productivity, in terms of research and innovation output of Europe in many areas, not just one or two. That was very alarming, I would say. And European Union now is at a critical stage as far as the cohesion policy. We are in the mid-term review right now, and we are trying to repurpose some of the amount of money that are challenged to various challenges into specific challenges in order to narrow this gap. there are discussions right now in the, under the presidency of Poland. And at the same time, we're also planning the next multi-annual financial framework, the 2028-2034. The challenges are there. Competitiveness is the number one word being heard in the corridors of European Union. I know. Okay. And there are many ways to tackle with this problem. We need more investment in research and innovation, that's for sure, but also in industrial applications like robotics and so forth. And we also need a change of mindset, I would say, in terms of change of mindset, in terms of how to do things with less red tape. That's a huge challenge across Europe.